Did you see Destiny debated Alex Jones about January 6th? Yeah, with Glenn Greenwald and the Krasenstein twins and somebody else there too. I mean, I haven't seen it, but yeah, I saw a discussion of it. The people who hosted that reached out to me a little while ago, though back then every other person was different, asking if I wanted to be a part of it. But I got the feel from the way it was being promoted, from the people involved, that it was just another, like, right-wing content grift network where they were attempting to divert a bunch of attention and media likes, or sorry, like media engagement to their, like, specific corner of the right wing, you know? So I figured, like, you know, even a good debate performance here would just be bolstering their kind of like media circle. So better Destiny then, who's already in the media circle, therefore, and doesn't like attract. it's you know, he's already in, you know, he's already dipped his feet in. Perfect for Destiny, like unironically, not even a snide comment. So presumably he did good. I mean, he's arguing against retards here, right? I mean, so he did fine, right? Like I'm like, actually, I assume so. Like, Alex Jones is a funny guy, but there's no way he holds up under direct scrutiny. They're good? He got mogged by Alex Jones. I saw one gif on Twitter of Alex Jones putting his hand on Destiny's back, and Destiny like kind of shying away from it. And I guess that is a debate tactic that Destiny might not be prepared for, which is friend mocking, when you sort of overwhelm the opponent with gestures of kindness. Or fake kindness, I guess. Yeah, the unsolicited touching. See, Alex Jones, a master in rape foo, has sort of martial styles most people aren't ready for, you know. AJ kept interrupting constantly. Oh, sure, yeah, of course, yeah. When the right-wingers were talking, nobody interrupted them for 2 minutes straight. It was completely skewed. Yeah, the feeling I get, like I said before, like, if people want to debate me, I have a YouTube channel where you can come on and debate me. But it seems like nowadays the right wing, just they all want to have like their own podcast or whatever, and everything they do is just like, it doesn't matter if they win or lose or whatever else. It's like it's in their corner, their media space, their views, their engagement. So it doesn't, it like hardly even matters, you know. But it varies. It's back to platforming discourse, where like the specifics of whether it's harmful or not are like really variable, and they really depend on the, you know, the context of the situation. So yeah, is rape foo better than Brazilian jiu-jitsu? Yes, but it's not as powerful as fuck, I forgot what Gojo's power is called. What is it? Infinity Eyes or whatever? The infinite. I have no, never mind. Don't worry about it. AJ posted this. I don't think this is actually Alex Jones' account. That would be very surprising to me. Is that true? Is this real footage from the debate? Did this actually happen? I believe it did. I think this did happen. This looks right. Isn't Alex Jones pretty short, though? Oh my god, he fucking died. Holy shit. It's real? Okay, yeah, I haven't seen it, so if you say it's real, I believe you. So is Destiny. So yeah, that's what I mean. They're both stout. Yeah. I can't believe Destiny's dead. That's unfortunate. You know? I mean, that just to go out like that. Yeah. Spiritually true? Oh, to be sure. Yeah. What is Gojo's thing called? Six Eyes, Infinite Technique? Ah, okay. Limitless Void. Okay, that's the thing that I was thinking of. Limitless Void. That's the thing I was thinking of. A good example that I can think of is when Destiny went on Fresh and Fit and debated Nick Fuentes. This is, in terms of like content and engagement and entertainment, an enormously high-profile get, and it probably got a ton of views. However, and I could be wrong, I certainly don't have his data or analytics or whatever, the impression I got from the fallout from that, from what glimpses of it I caught, you know, certainly I have plenty of mutuals with Destiny, is that it was largely a show, and that the kind of people who watch Fresh and Fit and Nick Fuentes aren't the kind of people who are going to be swayed positively by an accurate, like, you know, delivery of immigration statistics and the lack of overrepresentation of Jewish people in American government. You know, some environments are much harder to crack. I think deradicalization efforts are better focused in the broader conservative space, rather than the kinds of conservative spaces that pride themselves on that kind of openly irrational online debate. Does that make sense to you guys? Like, to put it like this way, right? If ever there was a group of conservatives who were not likely to be swayed by hearing a good idea, the kinds who watch Alex Jones are probably up there, right? There are community spaces where that isn't necessarily the case. Tim Pool, for example, a couple years ago, actually did have an audience pretty susceptible to different ideas. But Tim Pool a couple years ago and Tim Pool now are two very different communities, you know? Since then, Tim Pool has abandoned the adrift liberal bullshit and just says just any old, whatever old shit, you know? And as a consequence of that, there seems to be a lot more ideological conformity in the Tim Pool community, which means that your likelihood of moving any individual there, I think, isn't quite as high. My guess is that Destiny's growth, which has been very impressive, and he's worked very hard at it. No snideness. Motherfucker travels more for this shit than I ever could. My guess is that his growth has less to do with de-radicalization in these spaces and more to do with his galvanization of the left, meaning that liberal, centrist, and reactionary elements of the communities that he argues with and against are more likely to find him, even if they disagree with him, entertaining, you know? A lot of people who are in the center or the right, or hell, even some like more moderate liberals, might find me entertaining just for comedy reasons, but also kind of insufferable because I'm so partisan, you know? I'm so polarized. Destiny's extremely polarizing, but he's not partisan in the way that I am. So it's possible that he can engage with those communities and have a kind of secondary audience of people who don't really, you know, like him, but they like his moxie. That's a critical difference, you know? For my community at this point, I'm willing to bet, for the most part, people who watch me like me. Destiny has a much larger community at this point, and I think that's because he's able to maintain the interest of people who don't necessarily like him. I'm just guessing from afar, but that's my impression based on what I know. Does that make sense? How are you insufferable and too partisan? They're criticisms that I've heard. Yeah, I don't self-refer as an anarchist that much anymore. I mean, I do like the idea of posing a big tent, but I'm not going to hide being a socialist. And I mean, you know, I've taken a look at my numbers in the back room, you know, in the back rooms, in the back shots, whatever word I meant to say. And I gain a lot of subs, you know. I think the last time I checked, even if my daily average in getting subs was in the ballpark of like 100 to 150 subs per, like in a day, which is not a lot, by the way. The actual number of subs that I get, like just gained subs, is more in the ballpark of, I think it was like 800 to 1,000 the day that I checked it. The problem is I lose a lot of subs every day. People get upset with me. People get like bullied into not watching me because they hear that I'm a rapist, bistio, sexual, pedophile, whatever, that kind of thing, you know? They're weak, yes. So they leave. Unlike you guys who are strong because you stay in spite of all those true things, of course. It leads to a net narrow gain, but you know, it's better than being dead in the water, I guess. The main reason that I'm successful and also a multi-billionaire now is because of the authenticity. It's the number one thing that I sell more than anything else, more so than my ability to speak or rhetoric or blah blah or whatever else. It's because I come across as a pretty like down-to-earth, straightforward person who like says what he means. I don't come across very conniving, I don't feel. And I think that sells pretty well. And what people don't understand when they say like, you know, you should stick to this or you should do that, is that this is very much like a death by 1,000 paper cuts thing. There are some things that you can do in the name of like orderliness and discipline that actually do make the content better, but sometimes people don't understand how much a sincere interest in doing something is necessary in doing it correctly. When it comes to live streaming, if I could do multiple takes, then sure, you know, but I can't. I am here, you know? Whatever the case may be, the channel's doing great. I'm very optimistic about the future. I've been hearing this, you're washed, your channel's dead, every single year since 2020, since mid-2021, because we got a big sub boost throughout the election and up to January 6th and a bit after. So since mid-2021, so now it's been nearly 3 years, washed, it's over, blah, 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 you know, whatever. I just don't think people have a good a good assessment of these things from their perspective as a viewer who can you know, who can only watch the stream in between intermittently smearing their own face with feces. It's just they can't see what's going on.